your station. Your music, the sound of a new tomorrow with Imani Speaks. Imani Speaks.
So I'm Kea and I'm from Stockport, and I've born here, raised here, and I've just started university actually. I'm 18 and I've just started my new course. I'm doing film music, which is a very niche course, but I've always had a kind of musical background and performing background, so it's kind of a perfect thing for me to do. I've just always loved artsy things like that, and that's pretty much me.
Fantastic. And obviously you do so many things, but there is a particular thing that you're doing right now that we are going to concentrate on. So you are in a beauty pageant, and what I'd like you to do is really just start by telling us about, because this is unusual in the fact that it's a world first drive-in beauty pageant. Talk to us about that. What is that?
Well, it's actually it's a new thing, because it's obviously because of the pandemic and everything that's gone on this year. So the creators of it's called Beyond Theatre, and they decided to create a theatre where live music and live performances and events could still go on, regardless of whatever the rules are in the future, because we're all in our cars, in our own pods, and so you're kind of separated by that, so there's no there's no regulations being broken, but it is the world's first, and I think the venue is around half the size, or just over half the size of Old Trafford Stadium in Manchester. So it's pretty big, which I'm kind of nervous about. It's just a big family event, and it's happened because our director didn't want to have a Zoom final, because I know most of the other pageants or of the other regions, they did a Zoom final a while ago, so a lot of them have been crowned already. So Miss Manchester, Miss Cheshire and Miss Lancashire were the last title to be crowned, pretty much, or one of them, because we just wanted to have a big event and just celebrate. So it's quite exciting. It's very nerve-wracking though.
It sounds very exciting, and obviously, I know that this year was supposed to, everything has been delayed, and so many things that were planned for this year have to go into the 2021. But obviously, you just answered one of the questions I was going to ask you about. Why is the Miss Manchester last to be crowned? But I think you answered why that is, because of the situation with COVID and the lockdowns and what have you. So, I know even though everything's been going on, you've also been able to go be part of a beauty round. You were in a roundup in November. Talk to us about that. How was that?
Yeah, it was a day in November, around the beginning of November, and there's a photo shoot studio in Manchester called Flawless, and you basically go in and you got to bring a guest, so I brought my mum with me, and we both got to she loved it, but always. We both got dressed up, we had our makeup done and everything, and we just took a series of different photos, and it was definitely my favourite round so far that I've done, because it wasn't really about the beauty, it was more about the beauty of your personality, because the staff there, they will feed back to the directors about how you compose yourself and how you interacted with the staff. And I think they do look at your relationships with your family and who you bring as well, so it was helpful to have my mum there, because it's a very strong relationship. So we just were ourselves, and we got on really well with the staff and got some lovely photos out at the end of it, so it looked a really nice day. But the winner of that wins the Miss Beauty round, which is a very nice title to have.
Oh, wow. Kea, it's, as you said there, this round is all about the beauty from within. And I remember when you came on before, and I know this is not kind of one of the questions I had set, but as you were saying that, it reminded me of you saying that you were working with ladies, you were doing a charity, or you do, I think you do several, if I'm not mistaken, you were helping women abroad who were kind of going through difficult things. Can you just talk on that a little bit, because I think that's so important to kind of explore and express who you are, as you were saying there, about the beauty from within.
Thank you. It's basically 2 years ago I actually fundraised to go to Kenya and visit the Masai Mara women, or the women of the Masai Mara tribe, and raise money for them and just learn about their culture and kind of swap cultural ideas with them. And then funnily enough, as I entered into the Miss Cheshire competition this year, the charity was a very similar charity which works with the Masai Mara women as well as women in India, and it's just to fight against the traditions of FGM, or just women being treated unjustly, or traditions that they're trying to break out of, not because they are traditions, because obviously traditions can be a good thing in many countries, but these are traditions that the women and many other members of the tribes aren't happy with. So it's a charity for that, and just to support them and provide whatever they need to get to that stage where they want to be. But then there is also another charity that I'm raising money for, / raising donations for, which is L for L UK, and that's more me collecting product, toiletries or makeup products that can be given to women or children that are escaping from domestic violence with a household. But I thought that was quite an important one this year, especially because with COVID and everyone being locked in their houses and locked down. So if you can't get out of that situation, then you're kind of alone. It's like isolated to the extreme, really. So that was really important for me to gather the materials to give out to them. So both charities are still going on, and I'm still raising money for the charity for Kenyan women and the Indian women, which is one woman at a time. And I'm raising money on GoFundMe and Just Giving, but my page is there's a Miss Manchester official page, where if they just search Miss Manchester Kea, which is KEA, and then it should come up on my page and how you can donate. But for L for L, for the domestic violence charity, it's more like toiletries, toothbrushes, deodorants, makeup, anything to make them feel comfortable. And if they do want to donate anything like that, they can always contact me on Facebook. I have a Miss Cheshire Facebook account, which is just Kea Bell, so KEA again, Bell, and then it's MC at the end, which stands for Miss Cheshire.
That's awesome. Kea, I think that those are two very worthwhile charities, because I mean, if you think of yourself as a woman, there's so many needs and what have you, and imagine if you do have to kind of run away from home because you're in danger, and you're not gonna you might not be able to pack a bag and with all the essentials. So this is a really worthwhile thing to do, and some I think as well, people might give things that they have excess of. They might have excess toiletries, and they can share one with one of the ladies, and then going with the ladies abroad, I think again that's such a wonderful thing to do. You raise that money yourself to go over and be part of that, and do that goodwill. So so I'm pretty sure you did well in that November. In the November heats.
Oh, thank you. I hope so.
Oh, bless you. I'm sure you did. Obviously, talking about the competition, things have changed quite a bit, as you've said.
Yeah.
How has that impacted you? Has it impacted you? Obviously, it's impacted the way the pageant is being put out there, the whole event. But in what way has it impacted you at all, or what would you say have been the changes that have kind of you kind of noticed on a personal level?
I mean, for me, in a way, it has actually been more helpful because obviously the finals were not obviously, but they were meant to be originally in May, and then they got postponed to September, and then from there it's now April.
Oh my God.
Yeah. it will have been whole year since I first entered, but I was always known as the young person that was always busy doing something. Like if I wasn't raising money to go to Kenya, I was part of the Mayor of Manchester's group doing something. And I think this whole year has just given me a chance to relax in a way and just rest just for a moment and before I carry on. So it's actually been very nice to be able to spread my Miss Cheshire also with my uni work and my university work, because obviously that's a whole new venture. Wow. So to balance the two, I think would have been quite difficult if it was very intense and fast paced. So for me, yeah, it has been a bit of a blessing, but I understand that it's still, the situation we're in isn't a very nice one. So there are obviously the restrictions and the very bad parts of it. But personally, I'm grateful for the time to, as well as spend time with family and friends, just to take a break and let the world stop for a second before we all go again.
Yes. It's funny you say that. My podcast is actually called Stop the World, I Want to Get Off for an Hour, you know?
Yeah.
Because
that's how I feel.
You just sometimes need to kind of stop, because it can be so, it can just pull you in and just, you know, before you know it, you're all over the place and you've kind of not, you know, had a time to tune into, you know, what's going on inside you.
Yeah, tune into yourself.
Yes, yeah. So that's great that you've had time, and certainly starting your new course, your degree course, you've got that time, you know, to spend on it and enjoy it, and you know, kind of find your way around.
Yeah, been lovely.
Okay, so Kea, we know, you know, because this is really important. You know, it's really important to you, and I know that you're looking for a sponsor. Now, what I'd like you to do is, if there's any potential sponsors listening to the show, I would like you to really just let them know, you know, why they should look into sponsoring you, why it will be worthwhile, you know, what you bring, who you are. You know, we've heard some of what you are, but is there anything else you want to say, just to let any sponsor know that you're here and you're worth, you know, sponsoring, and also share your contact details for them as well.
Yeah, will do. I would be grateful with any sponsor, so any business, any company, whether solicitor, hairdresser, takeaway, anything really, because I would just bring the opportunity to represent them in the competition. So what they'd get would be their name on the sash and their name announced. And obviously it's quite a big event in April with the drive-in and the thousands of people there, so they will all hear the name of the sponsor. And I think personally, I know that I'm the kind of person that puts pretty much 100% effort into most things I do, or if not everything I do. So I feel like I'd be able to represent them in the way that they'd want me to represent them, and I'd listen to that, and I'd really be there for them to put out what they want to put out into the world. But as well as promoting on my own social media, the Miss Manchester page would also post on to their social media, which is linked to Miss England, so it's pretty much a national thing. So it's kind of exposure for the company or business to get that, and also work closely with me, chat about what they want from their business or company. But they can contact me if there's anyone out there listening that would like to sponsor me, or just chat to me about what it involves. I can be contacted on Facebook, so on the same page as mentioned before, which is Kea Bell MC. So it's KEA and then Bell and then capital M and capital C. So yeah, I would just love anyone out there, if they are willing to give me a message on Facebook.
Awesome. You've said, you know, any type of business. Is there a criteria for who they have to be to make contact with you, or will you sort that out in the phone call or the email or what have you? Or is there anything in particular that you feel could help them to know that they will be right for you?
I mean, I'm happy to support any business. I know it doesn't have to be a beauty related business or a pageant related business. It can be anything. But to sponsor, there is a sponsorship fee, which I don't know if we want to say now, or I can message them.
It's up to you. What do you think is? Do you think it's best for you to talk to them when they contact you, or do you feel like you it's okay to? It's up to you. Whatever you feel is going to work.
I don't mind saying it.
Go ahead.
It's just so it's £250 for the sponsorship, but then obviously they get all the promotion and the involvement in the pageant, and it also goes towards the things for myself in the pageant, so towards my sash and my involvement in it. But it's everyone in the competition has a sponsor towards the end, so the more time you have with the sponsor, the more you can promote them and be there for them and be there for their brand and their business, which is why I don't really want to leave it till the last minute, because then I feel like I can't offer them, can't offer them the full amount that I could offer them.
And that's another question just come from the back of that is, don't know if it's a silly question, but is it only one person that can sponsor you, or can you have sponsors?
Yeah, it's just one person.
One person, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So, what I want to ask you next is about, you've got a voting hat. Can you talk to us about that? And how has it been going for you with people voting from the voting hat?
Yeah, Miss England actually created the new way of voting, which is the app. So it's just the Miss England app. That's what it's called on the App Store and the Play Store, or whatever application store you own. But basically, the public get one free vote on the app if they download it, which is a free app as well, which differs to the text vote where you would have to pay 50p per text. So it is a free version of voting. But on the app, there's also the option to then upgrade the votes. If you wanted to do an additional payment, you could upgrade the number of votes that you choose to vote for a contestant. But so far, it has been going very well for me. Very happy with. Thank you. They have. Oh, sorry. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah. Sorry.
I can hear you.
Coming through. They update us around every 2 weeks on how it's going. So the last time I heard was about a week and a half ago, and I was in 3rd place.
Wow, that's
so,
I told you.
it was a bit of a surprise, a bit of a very pleasant surprise, considering there's about 35 contestants. So. Yeah, I'm happy that everyone out there is supporting me and definitely feeling the love. But I have no idea where I'll be up to in the next update. I have no idea, but we'll have to wait and see.
I'm sure you'll just keep going from strength to strength, Kea.
Thank you, I hope so.
I know you were recently featured in the Manchester Evening News. Now, how did that happen, and what was it like?
Well, I actually got contacted by a reporter from the Manchester Evening News, very random and out of the blue, but they'd heard about the work I did for to raise money for Kenya, as well as being the first black head girl at my school. So I've left now, but it was Withington Girls' School, and I was the first black head girl in 150 years. Not 150 years, sorry, 130 years.
Oh my god, that's still bad. Oh my god. Wow. I was going to say wow, but I'm still saying wow, because that's still a lot of years. My god.
Yeah, so it was quite a monumental moment for me to just look at it and think, wow, I managed to do that. So he actually contacted me about that, but it did give me the opportunity to talk about Miss Cheshire and other things I was doing. So by the time I read it, it was pretty much just a full article of everything I'd been doing the past 4 or 5 years. And I was taken aback a bit, actually, because I don't know, just to see someone write your story and then share it to the public in such a lovely way, and I don't know, when it's stuff you've done, sometimes you don't always see it as what it is for. But just reading it gave me a chance to kind of reflect on it and the journey that I've been on, and all the people I've managed to help or influence. And yeah, it was just very nice to read. So yeah, definitely a memory to not forget.
That's so powerful. Like you just said, sometimes when you're doing all these things, you don't realise what you're doing, but when you see it documented and somebody else has written it down and kind of put it out there, I can imagine you probably realise, wow, that's me, that's what I've done. And all the people reading the article, I'm sure, were very impressed with what you've done.
It's just able to reach a lot further than I could reach, I feel, because there were people that would message me that say don't have me on social media, because I did share it on there, but say one day my neighbour, she said, I saw your article in the paper, and it's just that feeling of knowing you've kind of pushed a bit wider and a bit further out than what I could manage before was a highlight.
Well, it's really good, and I think that was so it was so quick thinking of you to he called about one thing and you were able to let him know about the competition as well, and obviously that just took things to a whole new level. So well done. And
thank you.
I want you to really, I know we just talked about the voting app, but can you remind people again why they should be voting for you? And how they, can you? Are there any sort of tips to help people to kind of, download the app and use it? What's the best way to go about it? I know you mentioned if they do download it, they'll get a free vote. Is that right?
Yeah. So the app it's a free app, so they can always download it, vote once, and then delete the app. It won't take any storage or anything like that. It's just a very quick process. But a few people have been saying they've found issues finding me on the app. So just to clarify, it's the Miss England app, and then once on the app, you click on Miss England Northwest, and then if you scroll, I should be there, and it's just Kea, and my face is there in black and white, and you just click, and there's a star that says vote, and then it's as simple as that. And then the vote is gone into the world. And you can delete the app if you feel free, if you want to, or you can upgrade the amount of votes you choose. But I would just, if people could vote for me, that would be great, only because I feel like I'm representing the black community as well as part of the competition, because there are some of us, but in comparison there aren't really many. So I kind of feel that that's quite an important role to play in the competition, but then I also feel like I'm representing the youth and the younger population, because I think I'm the third youngest. I'm the baby in the competition. But I know our generation are kind of speaking up about issues now and going more into the public eye to get our voices heard. So I kind of feel like being involved in the competition is just a great way for me to keep doing that and being in that space and that public presence to get our voices heard as the young generation, especially also because as our generation, I feel like if you think about, I don't know, I'm 18, and the things that have happened over my 18-year lifespan have been quite monumental in good ways and bad ways. Quite a lot of things have happened, and I feel like my generation has had to face a lot of diversities in such a short lifespan, kind of. So just to be a representation of us and our strength and our voice in the competition would be an achievement to win because of that, really.
I think those are really important points. You being a black young lady, you being a young lady, and as you've just said, this is a difficult world for young people. I've said, wow, I don't know how I would do the 21st century as a young person. It's not easy, and you definitely need people around you that love you and that can guide you. and you
Yeah.
obviously have that in abundance, and this is why we're talking to you and why you're doing all these wonderful things. And just to you've really kind of answered the next question, but I just wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper, as in, you know, for some people this year, you know, they've stopped dreaming, they've just given up, they just feel, you know, things have happened. Some people have lost people, as in, you know, they've passed away. Some people have, you know, kind of lost their jobs, or they were doing, you know, they were moving towards something in a business and it just folded. And, you know, they may be young people, they may be black people, they may be all people from all different walks of life. What would you say to anyone who may be feeling, you know, I don't think I can do it anymore, I've tried, and, you know, I just keep falling down? Is there anything you would like to say to them about dreaming?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time it feels like the world can be against you.
Definitely.
Yeah, everyone's situation is always different. But the thing that I always remember is everything comes in time, and it's in its own time. So I think, I don't remember if I said it last time on the show, but I have the mentality that everything is happening for a reason, and with God's path and God's plan and everything. So looking at it in that way, if life isn't ready to give you what you need to take on that dream, then it's not ready, but it doesn't mean it's not going to come. Or if alternatively, on the flip side, if life is showing you the signs that you can take it on, it's important not to be in denial or turn away from the opportunities or chances that are in front of you, because I think your life can be shaped by the opportunities that you take on and also the ones that you miss. So yeah, I think giving up is just not looking in the right place at the right time. So just patience, and as long as you know yourself well enough, and I think that's the most important part really, is knowing yourself and knowing your self-values and what you can do, and also knowing your limitations, will always help you knowing when the dream is ready to be chased or not, really.
Wow, that's such powerful words, and you know, I really enjoyed what you've said there. You know, what I want to ask you is, obviously you're doing all these wonderful things, and you know, you I think when you spoke to us last, you mentioned that, I asked you who nominated you for this event, for this competition, and you didn't know at the time. Have you ever been able to find out, get to the bottom of who nominated you?
No, I still don't know. Still have no idea who it was. I've kind of just accepted it now.
Wow.
It just happened. It just landed in front of me, and I just couldn't say no. I know I'm not a pageant. I've never thought of myself as a pageant girl. I don't think I would have really entered the competition before being entered into the competition. So yeah, I just took it on, and yeah, not looked back. I don't think I will.
Okay, I know you've got busy time with your studies and what have you, but I'll keep you just for a couple more questions that kind of have sprung. Obviously, you're doing what you're doing, and where do you see yourself? You're a very young lady. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Have you thought that far ahead, or are you just going day by day?
A bit of both, really. I have my ideals of where I would like to be, but not in a specific sense. Because with my course, which is film music, I'd like to be in a creative area where I can express myself in a way related to that. So whether that's working in the BBC, working on documentaries and scoring music for that, or writing music for a TV drama, or working behind the scenes even further and just creating the sounds for it. I'm very open with where it takes me, but I think in a more general sense, I think I'd like to still be in a position where I can continue to speak about things and speak out about things in the public, and continue to use my voice to be present and heard in this time. Because I think I've always just been kind of there and a presence, and to be a motivational speaker is pretty much the end goal, the lifetime goal. So anywhere closer to that in 5 years would be where I'd like to be.
You know what, Kea? I would say this. I think you're already there. You're doing it already. You're out speaking. You know, you've travelled and helped people that you don't know. You're helping people here. You know, you're going to be. You know, you've already gone through several rounds of this competition. So I think that you're already a motivational speaker, and you're just going to kind of build on that with all the other things that you plan to do.
Oh, I hope so. Thank you.
Oh wow! So you know we've talked about all the things that are coming up around the event. One of the things I want to also say, and I want to play something as we wrap up this segment. You're also a very, very good drummer. Talk to us about that before you leave us.
Yeah, I've been drumming for about might be around 9 years now, 8 or 9 years. And I started learning at school, just the drum kit traditionally, but then I got involved in my school's orchestra, and I took up the timpani, which are the big kettle drums, and then the xylophone as well, which I'm pretty sure is where I found my love for film music, because we just play film music after film music, you know, Star Wars, West Side Story, Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'd literally absorb the music till I could hear it in my sleep and hear every line to it. So I definitely have that side of me and the drumming side to thank for that. But yeah, at university, because it's a music-based university, it's really given me the chance to explore the music side a lot more, and I've been really enjoying my drumming recently and just improving on it.
Yeah, it's incredible when because hearing your lovely voice and just seeing you as well, you're just this petite, elegant young lady, and then when I saw you hitting those drums, I was like, wow. Honestly, it was like, really amazing to see you doing something you love, and you could see that you were beaming, so you get something from it as well. So before I'm going to play that out, just as you say your goodbye, so people can hear your, what you do. Is there anything else? Is there anything else anything I've missed, or if you just remembered, I need to talk about this before we go? And also, please let people know how they can get in touch with you if they would like to sponsor you, and also how can they get to the vote again? Just if you just want to, go there.
Yeah. I'd just like to say firstly, thanks to everyone who may be listening that's already supported me throughout the competition, because it has got me this far. And when you look back on the year and to the amount of support that I've seen, it has just kind of blown me away. So thanks to everyone out there who has been supporting me. And then for the voting or contacting me, you can find me on Facebook. It's Kea Bell MC, and Kea is spelled Kea. You can also find all my details about where to donate for the charity, or reading about why I've entered, and also the different rounds I've done on the Miss Manchester webpage, or you can just Google Miss Manchester Kea Bell and it will come up as well. And to vote for me, you can download the Miss England app, which can be on any app store, so Play Store, Apple Store, or any other available store, and you click on Miss England Northwest, and I am towards the middle, and it's just Kea in a black and white photograph. So yeah, they're the details. But I would just like to say that there is a new initiative that I just wanted to talk about, which is to help many Black people in Manchester with mental health. Because there is kind of a call for mental health for the Black community. So we're starting in Manchester, and there's a group of female healthcare professionals that are right now trying to set up the very first Manchester unit to provide specialised care, and it's called Fika Welly. So they are raising funds for that. So if anyone out there is listening and would be interested in finding out more or hearing about their story or why they've wanted to do what they're doing, you can just Google fikawelly.com on Google, and it's FIKWELIE. And yeah, I just really love what they're doing, and it will be the first in Manchester, and I'm pretty sure one of the first, if not the first, in the UK. So yeah, if anyone could support that, it's a really good thing that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. How are you spelling that? Fika Welle.
Yeah, it's Fika, and then a new word, Welie.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's another, really good worthy cause, and it's really lovely that you're highlighting that for people, because there is a need, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Oh wow! Just before you go, just want to ask you, how are your parents? Because I know they're very close to your very close knit family. How are your family dealing with your success and what you're doing?
Very well. We're all doing very well here. I think, this time has just given us all a chance to be a lot closer. Oh. I mean, we were very close before, yes. But even closer now. So I think we're just enjoying that company. And I'm proud that they're proud of me, because it just makes me happy to make them happy. So. Oh. To be able to do that and bring them joy this year has been, something else that's kept me going. So even in the toughest of times. So yeah.
And I get the feeling as well that you're quite a spiritual young lady. I think we talked on that a little bit last time. So again, and then I'm going to let you go, because I know you've got lots of things. I know this is a busy week. It's Christmas week and all the different things. So yeah. So how has that helped you with what you're doing and all the things that you're involved in?
Well, it's helped so much. I think, just with the mindset I was saying before, with God's plan, and He is looking out for me, and as long as I remember that, there's not really much I need to worry about, regardless of how tough anything gets or how much I'm doubting myself. I know that whatever decisions I'm making are the best decisions for myself, because I know he's looking out for me. So it kind of just puts everything into perspective for me, and allows me to think rationally as well, and just not let the world and life overpower or overbear me at any point. It's a very great thing to have my spirituality in my life.
Thank you so much, Kea. I totally agree with that. There is a bigger power, higher power. It would be ludicrous not to tap into it, because it's not easy out there. If you're just going out there as just the human side, we need more, of that part of ourselves to be able to kind of navigate this world. So thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you come on. It'd be lovely to have you back just before you go for the competition in April. But please tell, what date is it? What date is the competition, and how can people get there? I know it's all going to be on the website.
Yeah, it's the 5th of April 2021, so it will actually be the Miss Cheshire 2021 winner rather than 2020 anymore. But the tickets are available online if they go on the Miss Manchester website, but it is a drive-in, so they recommend that you kind of fill a car, so 6 or 5 people all get in the car and drive down to the stadium. It's just near the Trafford Centre, the theatre. So it's not far for anyone in Manchester. Tickets are online, and it should be a really massive event. It will be pretty much one of the first large live events that the UK does since the whole start of the pandemic. So very exciting to be a part of something like that.
Wow. And, well done to you for being part of it and for getting so far. And I'm really proud of you, really happy for you.
Thank you.
I wish you, continued success. And like I said, you're always welcome to come back and talk to us and let us know how you're getting on, whether you want to come on before or after, what have you. But it's been delightful having you on the show. Really enjoy it. But I'm going to play out your so I don't know if you want to introduce it, and I'm going to play.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Oh, welcome. You're absolutely welcome.
The piece is, I think it was called Razorhead. It might not have been. It was a long time ago I filmed that. But yeah, it was a piece I filmed for the Miss Cheshire talent round. So I hope everyone enjoys listening to it. Thank you everyone for listening.
And thank you, Kea. So we're going to play out now. There you go.